Masechta Bava basra daf samach daled amud aleph. We're starting from Toshmat, the second line from the bottom of samach gimel amud beis. Sagt die Gemara Toshma. Samach gimel amud beis by Toshma. So we learned Toshma, second line from the bottom. Toshma, come in here and I'll bring the ayah to the words of Rav Dimi. That somebody who sells a house, he didn't sell together with the house. When he's beicha bayastam, automatically the back house, the storage house, or the rooftop, which has, or you're talking about the berbedus. We'll get to that later in the Mishnah. But or a rooftop with the 10 tvachim high. Toshma, it says v'loyas agag. When this that we learned before in the Mishnah, it said somebody who sells the house, he hasn't sold in the back room. I mean, it's not called a back room. Another structure connected to the house. Nor loyas agag v'zman le'maike gavoya asar tvachim. Nor did he sell him the rooftop upon which there's a gather around the rooftop of 10 tvachim. Says the Gemara, if you're going to think that without him saying the word specifying that he's selling him the depth and the height, are you going to say that he's anyway koina? Says if it's going to enter your mind that somebody buys a house, a bayistam, he's automatically koina the airites and the floor. In fact, the Gemara, so kikavayas what a tvach my have. Why did the Mishnah say when he sold him the bayistam he wasn't koina the gag with the sort of tvachim around it? If he's koina automatically the floor and the height, so he should be koina this gag. So the Gemara. No. So what do you want to bring out is adaya that when you sell the house, if you don't write an umka you weren't kind of the floor and you weren't kind of the air rights, and that's why you have to write umka because it's not extra. And if you want to be kind of the bird vedus, the pit or the big cistern is a big like in the water. A big structure where they keep water, reservoir water, you're not going to, unless you write Tehim Ara, from the depth of the ground. Okay.
But if you don't write, you're kind of...
So if you don't write Tehim, you're not going to the bird with us.
Oh,
and Kaviruma is not extra, because Kaviruma, if you don't write it, you're not going to the kaka of your property. You can't dig there. And nor could you build on top, you don't have air rights. Says you want to snishkenaya. Really, when you sell a bayistam, you're kind of the kaka on the bottom, and you're kind of the airites. Why wasn't he kind of the gag with the asar tvachim? He says, keeping the yesh gavaya asar tvachim chashiv, since it has the rooftop with mechitza of 10 tvachim around it, it makes it like a separate binyan. So I sold you one binyan, I didn't sell you 2 binyanim, so therefore it's not included. Zog the Gemara, Amalei Ravina leRavashi. Ravina said to Ravashi, Toshma, come in here, I'll bring you an ayah. It's not like Rav Dimi. Rav Dimi says that if you don't write rumei, the oimek, you're not going to the karka or the airites. I'll show you. The Amar Ishlakish says, this is the same Gemara as yesterday. That's a chidish. Somebody who sells a house to his family. Amanas shedeyoita yoina shali. Amanas that the rooftop with the 10 tvachim around is going to be mine. The attack at the rooftop is going to be his if he said Almanas. Why do you have to say Almanas? Even without him saying Almanas, the Mishnah says when he didn't sell him the porch. So the rooftop. Why does he have to say Almanas? The rooftop is mine. Without him saying Almanas, the rooftop is mine, it's his. Automatically, because he didn't sell him that big. It's another building. So the Gemara Rav Zid said the reason why he said the extra words, it's not extra, is to tell us that when he left Taka the rooftop would have been his anyway. But the reason why he said it, he's saying mentions nish moitzi dvarav levatala. So he's obviously wants to say more. He wants to say, just like I had the rights when I owned the house and the chutzah, I was allowed to have the ledge coming out of the rooftop over the ear of the chutzah. So yes, chutz, I sold the house. Mitten chutzah, I still want to have the rights, and I have the rights to build a ledge or a balcony over the chutzah. That's why he said the extra words to tell us the chiddush of Rav Zvid, that he could do it. He could keep the ledge. He could keep a balcony over the ear of the chutzah, even though he sold the chutzah. What does it? Now, Papa sagt an anderer chiddush. He says it's she'im. The reason why he said these words, even though they're extra, she'im ratza livnus aliyah agaba boina, to tell us if he wants to build another structure on top of the house, he can build. What are you talking about? If you're going to say that Bistama is not going to be Kaina, that one who was Meicha Abai Istam, the Lekeach, hasn't been Kaina the Ave, the Kaina wasn't Kaina the ear on top. So what's this? What's the Chiddush Lamali? Why does he have to even make that tonight? He automatically can build on top. The ear rights belong to him. If he's Meicha Abai Istam, he's not Kaina. So Labani Almanas, what does he have to say Almanas? Even without him saying Almanas, he's allowed to build on the top. And the Gemara Kavanah Papa is, you're right. That for sure he can build on the top. Ahanile, the extra words Almanas, is to tell us the E Nafal Hada Bani La. Let's say the structure that was the reason why the Yuta belonged to him, because there was a Yuta which had a wall around it. So it was considered as another binyan, right? But now that this binyan fell, who says he doesn't have the binyan? It's no more his. And it's my house. You can't go build on my house. You owned the porch when it was there. Now it's not there, so goodbye. So he's come to tell you, because he said these extra words, he wanted to have the Yipur Koyach. And we get them the Yipur Koyach to build it over. He had the rights as long as there was that porch with the mechitza of 10 tvachim around it. Now everything fell apart. Now you want to come build a new porch, and you earned those rights. No, even to begin with. Now you're building up my house. It's not there. It's like you're making a new porch. That's chus you don't have. You had this chus in the old porch. You didn't sell it. But to now build a new additional porch, that does kemenish. In the Mishnah we learned somebody who's...
So he could do it again.
Yes, because he said the extra words. And a mensch sagt nicht ibe kavata, tut es mit der kavana. And his kavana was that he should have the right to build it over again. The Mishnah says somebody who sells a bayis stam.
So that's the deal like Shlokish said that.
Yeah.
It has to be specific that he wants to keep it.
He is really kind of the rights.
If it falls,
He's not like Rav Dimi. He really is kind of the air rights.
Right away.
The stam, even without saying a beicha bayis stam, he's kind of the air rights. The extra words, he said or he said Amanas that the Yuta should along the line, is to tell you something extra. Well, he can build it over according to our Papa.
He knew that the whole thing is his house.
Okay. Somebody, the Mishnah says, somebody who sells a bayis stam. He didn't say anything. He didn't say with the veruma. He said nothing. Bayis stam I'm selling. Lo yasadus. He did not sell him when he sold him the house. He didn't sell him the bird that was in the chutz, a pit, or the dus is a cistern, just the house, because it's made for other uses. Even if he be Feidish wrote, this is not like Abdimi. Even if he told him keveruma of the house, I mean, this is like Abdimi. Even though he wrote the keveruma, he said the Feidish, you're kind of the depth, and you're kind of the air. He's not, but the bird.
Under the house?
The bird is under the house, but he said umka. He's not kind of the bird vidus anyway. Why? Because the bird vidus is a whole different tashmish. He's kind of anything that's similar to the house, anything that's similar to the dwelling of the house. A bird vidus is a whole different tashmish. It's not schlafen or living there. It's for a reservoir of water to get water. That you need a separate contract, so he wasn't sold it. Now, sagt die Mishnah weiter, if he sold him the house with the chutzah, but he kept the beir v'dus for himself, the moicha, right? Now he needs a pathway to get to the beir v'dus. Sagt die Gemara, according to Rabbi Akiva, it's tzarich likach loy derech, divrei Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva says he has to now buy back from the loikeach a path to be able to go to his beit. He has to why?
Also under the house?
No, it's in the chutzah. He has to go through the house. Or he has to go through a path that belongs to the loikeach. House with the chutzah, yeah. But the beit is not sold. So now, because that's a whole different tashmish. So now he wants a path to be able to go to his beit. So now he's going to have to go back to I want to buy a path.
He has to buy back.
He has to buy back. Why? Because when he sold him the house, he sold him be'ayin yafa. That's what Rabbi Akiva says. So if he sold him everything except for the Beirvadus. Even the pathway is going to Beirvadus all sold. Now the Meicha needs a pathway, he has to buy it back. The Chacham said he doesn't have to buy this pathway because if he left the Beirvadus, he had in mind not the Ayin Ra. Ich verkaufte nicht alles, ich verkaufte nicht nur, but I'm selling the house.
He needs the path.
But right now we're using the term, he sold it by Ayin Ra, Bechalas, Meicha sells, not with such a good eye. If he thinks he wants to have things for himself, and we know that he might, this makes sense.
With a good eye, or he could be able to watch it.
But he kept himself the burden.
No, if he sold him, if I sold you with a good eye, I want to sell you everything. Now I forgot, so I have to go buy back the path from you. That's what I sold.
He didn't sell him the burden.
But
He will let him go for nothing. You don't have to make it.
Oh, no, it said Abraham mentioned was given, even in the stores, you buy stuff like nuts, we learned last time, so they add extra a couple of nuts. They want to be nice, they sell it, ba'achava. So here he sold it ba'achava, and now he has to buy back the path. The Chacham is saying, no, a person doesn't sell. A person is very calculated. When he says, buy in raw, he sold him, and he left a path for himself, so therefore he doesn't have to buy it back. Because l'chatchila, that's how he sold it, buy in raw. Rabbi Akiva will be made there that the path he doesn't have to buy back when if the Meicha said befedish, I'm selling you the house except for the beir and the dus. If he said it openly, even though he doesn't have to say it because the beir and dus is not being sold, but since he reiterated, he said befedish except for the beir and dus is not being sold. So then we know Shein Tzarech Liknes is Aderech. He obviously meant by emphasizing he's keeping the Beirvadus that he wants the pathway with it. And therefore he doesn't have to buy it back. Even Rabbi Akiva will be made that. Now we're going to learn the opposite. The Balabais is keeping the Sada for himself. The only thing he's selling is the Beirvadus. So Mechor, and if the Balabais sold Adam Acher, no the Beirvadus, Rabbi Akiva ain't a tzarech likach loy derech. Rabbi Akiva says if he sold the Meicha sold the Beirvadus, he sold him with the path automatically. And then Rabbi Akiva says because when he sold it by Ayin Yafa. He sold it by Ayin Yafa. No, people will say, hey, everything is. They calculate the bag costs another 5 cents. And what we're packing in. Yeah, that's how it is. No, I sold you the Beirvadus. Now you need a path. So up weiter. Now you have to pay for the path. So it's like taxes. You think you made money. Jetzt darfst du zahlen taxes. Hat mir geschickt nach WhatsApp. Einer hat gegangen mit Geld. Dann sagt okay, gut, ist gut. Das ist dein Panasse. Jetzt. So der Meches. By the time he finished with all the taxes, he's geblieben mit gar nicht. So as he is da et verkauft. Ja, I sold you the Beirvadus. Oh, Baruch Hashem. Yes. Oh, you need a path. That's all. It's not a tax. Okay, sagt die Gemara. Yossi Ravina v'Kakashalei. Ravina hat sich weggesetzt, and he had a shaila. Hainu Beir, Hainu Dus. What do you tell me? 2 cases. Beir and Dus, the same thing. A Beir is a pit in the ground. A Dus is a structure with bricks, but it's also a pit. They both hold water. Why do you have to give me 2 cases? Why do you have to say both cases, Beir and Dus?
That's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It goes together. I don't know.
No, so I'm a lady over.
Maybe Dus was around the bear. The Dus was around
Dus is a citron. It's more like a keli in the bird. And a bird is mamish from the ground itself. We're going to see. I'm a lady over. Teisva l'Ravina. Rabba Teisva said to Ravina, Toshma, come in here and I'll answer you why we need both cases. The Tanya we learned in Abraisa, Echda Beir, Echda Dus, Bikarka. In Abraisa we learned Saya Beir, Saya Dus, isn't that? Yeah. Allah, Shahabeir is a Chafira Bikarka, in the karka itself, of a Shaharta Karka. So the water will stay. You don't have to make any pitching and cement around or bricks. So Bachafira, just with digging out, it's already a beir and it can hold water. But Hadus, that's digging in soft ground. It's not gonna. The water won't hold. It won't stay. So bebinyan, you have to build avonim around to make it like a keli in which to hold water. Oh, so the Hashbam says like this: if I would only learn, I'm using the. If you want, I can read the words that he quotes from the Hashbam. If I would only learn beir. So I'll say, I'll say beir has nothing to do with the house. The house is a structure. The beir is not a structure. It's a stama, a digging in the ground. By a beir, I'll say dafke, it's not sold with it. But it's made from the same stone that you build the house. It's the same structure. The doima labais, it's similar to the house. So I'll say, I'll say it's part of the house. It's the same bricks and whatever you built here, you built in the bayou. So this is one thing.
Matches the building.
Matches the building. Yeah. Okay. If you would learn dus bavad, if I learn dus, I would say only dus is not sold with the house because dus is a new structure on its own, a separate structure. So I'll say that wasn't sold with it. Now we're saying the opposite. Yesh le chashivas, ve'ine batal abayis. So it's a davar chashuv. It has bricks and it's a binyan on its own. Yeah. That's why I would say it's not sold with him. So it's not alochen in the ground, in the earth. It doesn't have any chashivas. So it's sold together with the house. Yossi Ravashi sat down and he asked the exact same kasha that the Gemara had just asked. He asked the same thing. What do you have to say both cases? There's no chilik between them. Makshisha, the son of Chizla said to Ravashi, Toshma, come in here and I'll answer you. The Tanya we learned in the Braisa, the Taka, both in the Karka. And he gave the same answer as before. And like we said in the Rashbam, the Chilek. He's telling you that he had the same kasha. Huh? Yes. He says, it was another, the same. This similar Shaila was by other Amayram. Yeah. Yeah, same kasha and same teretz. Yes, in the Mishnah we learn likach loy derech. So what happened was the Meicha sold the house, and he kept the beir v'dus for himself. So now he needs a pathway. So Rabbi Akiva says he has to buy the pathway. Rabbi Akiva, because when he sold the house, he sold Bayin Yofa, he sold it with a path. And now he has to buy it back. You don't have to because somebody who's Meicha is buying in the draw. This is what they're arguing about. The Rabbi Akiva holds Meicha, somebody who sells something to his friend Minastam, Bayin Yafa Meicha. He sells a Bayin Yafa. So therefore, when he sold him the house, he sold him together with the path. So now the Meicha needs a path to his Beir V'dus. He has to go back to Lekech and buy it back. Rabbanan Sabri by no Meicha. Rabbanan say no, he never sold the path. When he sold him the house, he sold it by very calculated, and he kept the path for his Beir V'dus. So the Gemara Udeka na maybe
Why didn't he buy it all? This is business. Why is he buying it all?
Okay, we're going to get to it soon anyway. It's not so pushing. So we find we had a very similar case. If you remember, he brought down by Ilonis. So what was the story? We had it on Lamed Zayin Amud Beis. Somebody was Meiche Ilonis. He sold trees. Did he sell him also the ground under the tree?
Christmas trees?
No, he sold him a date tree.
Oh,
So if the date tree dries up, we want to know, could he plant another tree? Did he sell him the karka under the tree or not? So Rabbi Akiva said he sold him the karka under this tree. What was this?
The tree dried out.
Dried out, so he has to plant another. Could he plant another tree or not?
He paid for the tree.
He paid for the tree.
Yes, he can pay him back.
Did
He
he,
paid the money?
did he, when he sold? I don't know, but if he sold him the tree, did he sell him the ground with it or not? So Rabbi Akiva said that he could plant another tree. He sold him the ground with it. And the Rashbam said there, and we learned this what it was because Rabbi Akiva holds HaMoicha, the one that sold the tree, was B'ayin Yafa. But the Chacham said no. Once the tree dries out, you can send him away from here because HaMoicha B'ayin Yafa. So the Gemara says, so when we said Rabbi Akiva L'Tamei over there, right? The Amma Moicha B'ayin Yafa Moicha, where did he learn it out? Where is the marker for it? So he says Meihacha from our Mishnah. With the Bava Dus, if he included the derech or not, so when he sold the house, Rabbi Akiva said not only did he sell him the house, he sold him everything, even with the path. Now that the Moicha needs for a path for his Bava Dus, he has to buy it back. Because when he sold it B'ayin Yafa. Here's the market. How do you know that that's the Svara in our Mishnah, and that's the argument if it's B'ayin Yafa or B'ayin Ra? Dilma, Rabbi Akiva Sava, maybe Rabbi Akiva holds, Ein Adam Reitze Shit Ma'isov, V'Yidesu Acherim. A person doesn't throw money stamazeh. I'm buying a house, right? I'm buying a house, I want my privacy. I buy a house with a chutzah. Ich will nicht haben andere Menschen. I bought it at Shusarabim, I bought the Brooklyn Bridge, I bought a house. I want privacy. So when I bought the house for privacy, even the Meicha knew when I'm buying it, I'm not buying it that anybody can walk in my chutzah to go anywhere. So that's why Rabbi Akiva said, really, maybe Rabbi Akiva says by the tree where it's not shayich, privacy. Over there he'll say, or he could say even B'ayin Ra. He could say he might hold even B'ayin Ra. We don't know. If it's not shayich. He says the ground. So there it's B'ayin Yafa. But here it has nothing to do with B'ayin Yafa. Here he bought the house. Forget. Here he's going to hold B'ayin that when he bought the house, he bought it for privacy. Here the Rashbam says. But like al das kein sheim kaleis kol habayis. V'gam ha'mechi yedei shal das zu nasam lo yalakreichas ha'mayisov. Even the lakreich, no, he gave him the money for this reason. V'im ha'isad aitza l'shay.
Can hold this like this?
Huh?
Rabbi Akiva will hold like this?
That's why Rabbi Akiva says if the Meicha wants a path, he has to buy it back. Because when he sold it, he definitely sold it. Even, the Meicha even understood that the Lekeich is buying it for privacy.
So what's wrong if he uses B'ayin Yafa? He bought it and sold it.
It's 1 second. No, so he's saying, because look what he says. Right? Like by the Mechilanes. So maybe he didn't sell him the karka at all. Maybe Rabbi Akiva will hold that maybe Rabbi Akiva says minastam ba'ayin ra machaloi v'shila, and he kept the karka for himself. The Rashbam says this. Maybe by the tree he's not, because there has nothing to do with privacy. And the same thing is with the Chachamim, he says. The Rabbanan Savri, and the Rabbanan hold, Ein Adam Reitze Sheyitel Moyes, V'yifrach Bava. A person, he says, like the Moicha, when he's leaving for himself, the Bava does, right, and he's taking money, he's not taking money and giving away his path also, so that he should have to fly to get to his Bava dus. He obviously, when he sold, and he knew he's keeping the Bava dus, he knew he's keeping the pathway for it as well. I'll use the Lashon of Rashbam. He says, obviously he kept something, a path to be able to get there. He didn't have to specify I'm keeping the path.
And Rabbi Akiva hold the what?
That the Meicha knew I'm buying it for privacy. So he says,
No, the Meicha, for privacy, but the Meicha also needs.
okay, so that's the whole two-way. 1 second. And let's look on the Rabbanah side. We already said the Rabbi Akiva side. So he's saying that the Meicha is saying, when I left the Bava Dus, I didn't have in mind that I'm flying. I know I can't fly. I need a derech, I need a pathway to get there. Mishum kasha shia la'atzves ha-Bava Dus.
Go for Tashlech over there.
Yeah. Okay. Nichlo b'zeh sheshiyah gam es haderech. Shim lo yikein, harei el nushu anam lezeh. He doesn't have any anam from it. So, and he says, but by Meicha Ilanes, where he doesn't need any path, right? By Meicha Ilanes, he doesn't, even if they can say that he sold him the Abba will hold that he sold him the kaka under the tree, because there, it's not shaykh this whole thing that he needed a pathway. So by the tree, he didn't need a pathway.
What does Rabbi Akiva hold?
No, we
Both of them hold the same thing?
no. Rabbi Akiva could say faket. We said Rabbi Akiva says that he sold him the path for sure.
No, talk about the trees. But
By the tree, he could hold the reverse. He didn't sell him the kaka. He could hold by You have no proof what Rabbi Akiva will hold. I'm just saying from our Mishnah, it can't be proof. Our Mishnah is a whole different reasoning why, according to Rabbi Akiva, the Meich has to buy back the path, because Rabbi Akiva held that when he bought the house, he bought it for privacy.
The whole thing.
And even the Meich knew that he wants the privacy. But by the tree, it has nothing to do with privacy. So that's off. Okay, let's go back to. Well, be safer. Says, but you're right. We can bring an eye because there's different smarties. Why Rabbi Akiva would say that he sold them together with the path, the house with the path, and why the Chacham gave us smarter that he didn't sell them with the path, because he shouldn't have to fly to his Bava Dus. Rather, he has to get there normally. Says the Gemara, Sefer. Rather, we learn out from the Sefer. What does it say in the Sefer? It's talking about that the Moicha kept the house for himself. The Sefer in our Mishnah, and he only sold the Bava Dus. So there, Rabbi Akiva Rabbi Akiva says he doesn't have to buy a pathway.
You can't go to the bay if you don't have
So here you can't use the soda, otherwise he can't go to the bay. Because Rabbi Akiva says, I don't care if he can't go to the bay. Privacy overweighs it. And here you're going to say faket, it doesn't make sense. And Chachamim say, if he sold the Bava Dus, right, he has to pay for it. So why should he have to pay for it if he sold them for the Bava Dus? How is he going to get there? So you're going to say because he sold them, because he's saying that what overrides the path over the privacy overrides. That's the opposite of what he said before. The Chacham said which one overrides what?
I can't say buying Ross and he sold it.
So only you have to say they're arguing if Hameich is buying Yafa or buying Ross. So that's the Raya. That was the machlekes. You can't say the machlekes was what overrides what. Privacy overrides the meiches path to the Bava Dus, or the meiches path, or like the Chacham will say that the meiches path going to the Bava Dus overrides the privacy of the loikeach. So that's what the Chacham say. But in the Sefer it comes out the reverse. We said in the case where the Balabai is sold. The Balabai is sold just the Bava Dus. Rabbi Akiva says he sold it with the pathway. Obviously, if he sold it with the pathway, so the pathway overrides privacy. The opposite of what Rabbi Akiva said before. And the Chachamim say he has to buy it back because the privacy overrides the pathway. It's going to be the opposite. So we can't say they're saying opposites. It's not a chont over here. Obviously, the arguing is when somebody sells, that if it's Ma'ayin or Ma'ayin Rav. So you might love nafke. Maybe they're arguing in a different machlekes. Rabbi Akiva Saba Basa Daita Lekei Chaslina. Rabbi Saba Basa Daita the Meichaslina. That they're arguing who do we follow? Who is stronger, the Das Lekeach or the Das Meicha? Meaning the Chachamim hold that we go after the Das Meicha. The Das Meicha in both cases is stronger. So look. Rabbi Akiva is miyapa the koyach of the leikach. V'hilach hachadaita b'chol makom sheish leitayna tevel edvarav. Mishum shechazaka ein adam mashlach ma'is bechinam. He says a person doesn't throw his money bechinam. When he pays money, he always pays. He makes sure to get the best for his deal. So when he sold him the house, he got with the path, according to Rabbi Akiva, and therefore the Meich has to buy it back. When he only sold him when the Lekeich bought the only the Beir Vedus, he got it with the path because he bought the best deal. So that's how he learns the Machlokes. The Das Lekeich, a person is stronger than the Das Hamecha because when he buys, Rabbi Akiva. So Bava Das came that he should buy the best deal, but the Rabbanan say no. The Meicha, the Daitz Shemecha is strong. And therefore, when the Meicha sold the house, he definitely kept the path for himself, because the Meicha wants to have a path for himself. And when he sold the Beir Vedus, right? When he sold the Beir Vedus, he only sold the Beir Vedus to Meicha. He did everything because we say the Meicha is stronger. He sells much less. And we say, Yad Balash Star ala Tachteina. And that's why the Lekeich who has the star, he's going to be al Tachteina, he's going to get less. So rather we learn it out from here. What does it say? We learned in the Mishnah on Ayin Aleph, somebody who sells a Sada B'Stam. And he didn't detail what is included in the Mechira. So he didn't sell him not the pit, nor did he sell him the vat where you press the grapes, nor the dovecotes where they keep the birds in, those dovecotes. Whether it's being chareim, whether there's no shinush there, it's not being used at all, and whether it's being used. And the moicha, if he wants the path to all these things, he has to buy it. Divrei Rabbi Akiva.
What was he selling here? He was selling in the chutzner?
He sold him the house and the chutzner, but he sold him the soda. I'm sorry, he sold him the field, but except for the gas and the sheva, he didn't sell him that. So now, does he have? When he sold it, it's in the field. So does he have? Did he get? Now he wants to get to these things. So the meichas, Rabbi Akiva says he has to buy it back. Chacham say in itself he doesn't have to buy it back. It's exactly like we learned in the house. So why are you repeating it? We have to say that the repetition, when it comes to teach us, Rabbi Akiva says when somebody sells, he sells with a good eye, and therefore he sold together with the path, and the Mech has to buy back the path, and the Rabbanon say Mech is buying, and therefore he doesn't have to buy back the path. He never sold the path. So that's why he repeated it. So who says that it's repeated and there's no chiddush? We do mashmin on bayis, we ashmin on bayis, we kamashmal on sada utzicha. He says maybe he's come to teach us bayis and sada. That what the ashmin on bayis, because if you would only learn these didn't buy bayis, I'll say bayis mishum the bayis ni usa. There's the union of privacy. A person wants to be able to do his privacy. So there's a hefset gadol when he's not getting the path together with it. Aval sada, but a sada which is made for charishuzia, and you don't do any private stuff. So maybe over there, I'll say the lekeach is not losing anything. He's not losing any privacy. So there he doesn't have to. No, there he'll have to buy it back. The meichel will have to buy it back. But by the house, where you have to say, "Hey, I'm sorry." No, he does. By the house, the meichel will have to buy it back. By the son, he won't have to buy it back. I would say no. I would say Rabbi Akiva is not arguing. He's made them in Astam. The meichel left for himself the path. And if you would only say sada, I'll say mishum dekashalei davsha. A sada, I'm going to say he definitely didn't sell him a path to go through. He has things growing there. He's going to destroy the crop and the plows. I'll buy you same light. But when it comes to a house, there's no damages over there, physical damages. So I'll say that the path was included in the sale of the Beir Vidus, or is not included with the house. Okay. Says the
What reasons could be used?
Ella says you want to a sefer. Rather, we learn out from the sefer of that Mishnah. It says Machon Lachar. He sold it to another person. What did he sell? The Baal Hasada sold the bird. Instead of selling the field, he sold just the bird or just the god. So Rabbi Akiva says he doesn't have to buy back the path. Chacham say he does have to buy back the path. Why do I have to say the same case? We already said it before, the sefer. And this svara that you gave with Sada and Bias, we already know the Chalukim. And we know Das Leikech and Das Mecha. So why would you have to say it again? I know how it's the exact same thing. Rather, it's coming to teach us that that one who sells it with a good eye. That if somebody who sells it by Ayin Ra. Shmamino. We talk about Raya. We can learn now from the Mishnah that the Rabbi Akiva and Chacham are arguing if one who sells it is he selling by Ayin Yafa, like Rabbi Akiva, or he's selling it by Ayin Ra.
And we say the customer is always right.